Welcome in. It is day 108, and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And we are closing in on the end of our October month, as it is October 26th. And today we're jumping into a totally different style of a Halloween game. Primarily what I've been looking for have either been games that give you that tense or scary feel, or that have an amazingly good theme, about ghosts or ghouls, something about the monsters. Today I'm going a little bit more into, it's still a little bit dark, but it's more about the costumes. It's more about that feel of the wonder of Halloween. That game is Wonderland's War. Wonderland's War is obviously an Alice in Wonderland style game. The concept of the game is quite simple. Everybody is meeting up at the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. You have up to 5 players. You're playing as the Cheshire Cat, Alice, as the Red Queen, as the Mad Hatter, and as I always forget his name, but that dragon thingy. So you're playing as these 5 characters, and you essentially have 2 parts to the game. Part 1 is you are playing a rondel. You are at the actual table. Cards are put out around the table, and one by one you take turns going around the table, stopping wherever you want, and grabbing that card and getting its ability. Now, around the table, there are 5 sections of Wonderland. And whenever you pick up a card, it'll tell you, all right, well, maybe you're going to get an upgrade for your player mat. Or maybe you're going to go and immediately you're going to get to add a Wonderlandian character to your group. Or a Wonderlandian's piece to your bag. Or you're going to get some people to put out on the board. It says 2 people. You get 2 your meeples, you have to put them together, and you put them somewhere together on the board, meaning now you've sent troops to battle. Well, you keep doing this, everybody does it, and as you go, eventually you're going to have to go all the way around the table. Now, when somebody does that, they first stop at the head of the table, and they're going to have to roll a die, and you're either going to get 1, 2, or 3 shards. These are bad. They're at the end of the game a negative point for each shard you have, and on top of that, they hit you with a negative at the end of every round for whoever has the most. So the actual bag, this is a bag builder. This is how the actual fighting goes on. You finish this up by having, I've played 5-player games. So when everybody's gotten 4 cards, you then place your Wonderlandian out. So if you're Alice, now you're going to pick a battle and you're going to put Alice out into a battle. And then starting at whichever battle was chosen to be the first battle, you're going to first look at all of your groups and you're going to figure out, all right, who do we have here? Troops, all that doesn't really matter as far as the starting point go. What matters is your actual battle strength. So if you've put Alice in, well, at the very least, she has a battle strength of 1. She could be a battle strength of 6. So they figure out her, if you have Wonderlandians, anything affecting battle. If you've gotten any of that, you add it up and you move your people along there. Now, the bag builder part is everybody at the same time who's in the battle is going to put their hand in their bag, grab 1 chip, pull it out, and at the same time reveal. If you choose to reveal nothing in your hand, it means you have retreated from battle. You're still alive. Whatever your battle strength is, that's your battle strength, and you're done. And now you're just waiting to see what everybody else does. Otherwise, you reveal your chips, and you're going to put them in multiple places. Either they're a good chip. You're going to put them at the top of your board, starting from left to right. You're going to add the battle strength to the top of everybody's player board, and then you're going to see if it has any special ability. For your basic ones from your bag, everybody has their own special ability. If it's your 3, if it's your 2 or your 1, it's just basic. And if there's stuff that you've picked up in the game, some of them will, depending on the round you've chosen, because there are 4 different sets for your cards for how their abilities work, you might be getting, say, a flamingo. And in Section A, it means it's going to double the next chip that you pull for its power. Or you might be getting a troop, and the troop says either you can use me for 1, and you can go and you can recover one of your already exhausted chips, or double me to 2. So you get to put these out, or you're going to pull one of the chips that are bad. You're going to have to put it onto your row of taking a hit, and you're going to have to kill off one of the people that you have in that section. So you do that, and then everybody moves to the next pull. Now you can one time stop a bad pull. And if you do this, you will flip your shield face down. Now it's broken. You'll take the thing that was hitting you, you'll return it to the bag, and then everybody as a group will move to the next round. It basically means you just did nothing for the round. So you proceed to the next round, you do this again, and you just keep going. If at any point either everybody dies, everybody has retreated, or a combination of these two, it ends, you figure out who's still on the battle track, and you give first place points, and you give a castle to first place, and then you give second place points to second place, which is half of first place points. If there's a tie for first, then each player gets to choose. Do they want all the points, or do they want their castle? The points are just points for the end of the game. The castle is, it will start the game off at a power of 3 points for the end of the game, but you can improve it, so it could be worth 4 or 5 or 6. However, it's also worth 2 battle strength if you go back to fight again in that section in the future. Now you might say, well, if you've already won, or at least gotten your castle there, then what's the point of going back and fighting there again in the future? Because you're not going to get that additional castle, so it's less of a victory. The reason is because you're going to have your objective cards, and the objective cards, every one of them says, do this in a certain section, a certain battle. So if you've drawn a card and you have to return to the red keep to complete this, well, be nice if you have extra 2 battle strength and you're able to fight a little bit better there. And the reason that you might go, well, they're only 3 points apiece. Is it really worth going back? The reason is there's a top objective and a bottom objective. The top has to be done during game. You show it, you get the 3 points immediately. The bottom is done end of game. So at the end of the game, you reveal your cards, and for every one of them that you completed, you get 3 points. But if you've completed both of them on the same card, you get a bonus 3 points. So if you really feel you have some shots at the bottom of certain cards, you want to target those tops, because it means you're going to have a chance at getting, instead of 3 points, you're going to get 9 points by getting them both. Compared to if you do the top of this one and the bottom of that one, 3, 6. Well, if you do both here, 3, 6, 9. So there's reasons to go back and to fight in future battles. Those castles are worth more than just their points. Now, you do all this, then you go to step 2, and then you go to step 3, and at the end of the game, you figure out who has the most points based on the points you gathered during game, the points you get for all your castles, the points you lose for your shards. And when it comes to those shards, at the end of every Tea Party phase, whoever has the most has to earn an additional lose one of your people chips into your bag. Everybody will get 1, but somebody gets 2. The good part is whoever gets 2 loses half their shards. So it can help you reduce those negatives for the end of the game, but it definitely makes it hard to win battles. Well, we've been talking for a long time about this game. It's because it's big. It's a big game. There's a lot going on. However, why don't we jump in and let's actually discuss our 7 topics. The art of this game is amazing. Just the cover alone sells me on this game. It's such a nice cover. I remember it was on Kickstarter and I wanted it and I didn't back it and I regretted it. I kept being like, man, that looks so unique. Why didn't I do that? That was such a cool looking board. It was such a cool looking cover. And then I ended up seeing that they came out with a little extra phase of selling it online, and I bought it immediately. Wish I got the deluxe, but I love what I did get, and it's amazing art. Thumbs up. I only got the basic version, and I have to say, even as a basic version, the components are fantastic. You have loads of different cards, all of them top quality. You have your standees for your characters and for the Wonderlandians. I'm not somebody who uses standees for games. I prefer the minis. I haven't had standees in years, but I like them. They're very good quality. Even the bases that they're on, I feel like are a top notch, like higher level than I've seen. I'm used to these bases having things fall out of them or easily breaking. These are really good. And then you got your actual chips for your bags. You've got your shards, which are nice little plastic shards. You've got your die. Everything's great. Thumbs up. The price on this is a bit steep. Now, this was a Kickstarter. It ran a outside of Kickstarter second run, and now it's actually running an expansion run to get the game again on Kickstarter. I haven't really seen this in stores yet, but I expect to. It's ran so much so quick, and it's such a good game. What I do think is important to recognize is that this game as a base version was $60. Until you see this in stores or available on Amazon, it's not going to be a game that you get without having to also pay shipping. So you're probably looking at paying more like $70, $75. That being said, this game is worth it. I had never played a bag builder. I'd always heard of Quacks of Quedlinburg. I never really got around to really checking it out. Now I'm really tempted because this was, for me, an eye-opener for a mechanic I'd never played before. And I just thought that the theme, that the real ability to look at what your opponents are doing and plan and get that luck mitigated because you choose to go all in on a certain attack to make your bag percentagely better. And it's great, but at the same time, you could still lose because your bag is only percentagely better. It doesn't mean it's actually better. So I really liked it. I think that the price is worth it. I would recommend that when you think about this in your targets, your experts, your experienced, and even your beginners can enjoy this game. I do think kids will love the look of it, but I think they'll get a little lost understanding actually how to compete. But you might find a 10 or 11-year-old can play this. I actually don't think that the levels are that hard. They just may not really have a chance at winning. But they might be able to at least feel like they understand what they're doing. And for me, it's one of those games that I would say, don't be afraid to try it first if you can, but if you see it in a store and you're not paying shipping, buy it on the spot. It's worth the $60. And if you do see it online and it has the shipping, I mean, see if you have some friends interested. Watch a playthrough and see if it grabbed you. That's what I did. And that's why I decided to buy it without playing it. And it was a huge plus for me, so thumbs up. The difficulty is, as I was talking about, you have your 4 levels. I feel like there's so much strategy here. And so an experienced and an expert player have plenty to go with. But at the end of the day, your decision making is you move around the rondel to get your 4 things for upgrades. And then you pull from your bag and you make the decision how long you want to do that for to go into each battle. And you just see where you end up. It's not so difficult that you can't have a newer player or a younger kid play. It's just one that if you are playing up against people who know what they're doing, they're going to crush you. I have lost both of these games by being in 5th and in 4th place. In 4th place, I only beat 5th by a point. And I got really crushed by 1st and 2nd. And I had a blast. Because there's so much going on. Now, if I get to my 10th play and I'm still having myself get crushed, I don't think I'll be mad at the game, but I will be really working trying to figure out the mechanics better so I can compete. But I'm having a blast playing. So I don't think the difficulty is going to throw anybody off. It's a thumbs up. Replayability. So this game it's replayable, but you have to understand that level. It is a long game. Now, I played a 2-player with my wife the other night. 2 players supposed to be 50 minutes. It probably took us, we had stuff distracting us, about 2 hours. I'd say realistically that should have been a 90-minute game. And I think in time, we could get that down to like 75 minutes. I think 50 minutes is a bit, they're thinking ahead, thinking they can get there. I don't think you can. But that being said, I wouldn't play that back-to-backs, I don't think, even at that length. Now, with my friends, this game takes between 2.5 to 3 hours for a 5-player game. We're not playing that twice in a night. I did pick it back-to-back picks for my Mondays. I pick every 5 weeks. So I was willing to pick it back-to-back, but it's newer. My newer games I get excited about, I do that with. And then they kind of slowly fall off as time goes on. I think this will definitely be in the rotation for at least a play, maybe 2 plays a year. And I definitely want to teach it to some of my family as well. So I think there's opportunity. And I don't want people to be discouraged. But I do feel like this is one that I'm aware of. I don't know where it'll be in 2 or 3 years. I have to feel out, am I going to find other bag builders? And that's going to say, okay, well, now this isn't as unique to me. So as a result, it's not getting pulled as quick. I don't know. But for now, I see the replayability. I've already played it 3 times in a 6-week span. So thumbs up. The keys to victory are quite simple. When you're in this game, your decision making is, well, what are you going for? Are you trying to build your bag in a way that's going to pay out points? Are you trying to build your bag in a way that's going to let you compete for battles? Are you trying to build your bag in a way that's allowing you to do more upgrades? Are you trying to build your bag in a way that's specifically trying to prevent you from getting hits for death? Are you trying to ignore the bag? And instead, are you trying to build your board and do your upgrades specifically and make sure that every time you do an upgrade that you're able to max out those rows? Are you targeting the ability to make sure that when you are on your rondel, you're getting hit for points constantly. If you're able to do things that are able to say, all right, because of what you're doing, you're going to end up getting early points quick. Okay. There's a lot of different things to target. And as of yet, with 3 plays, I haven't seen that there's anything that's clearly the front runner for winning or that's near the back for it's not going to help you compete. I think maybe in a 2 or 3 player, I might find that in time. But I think in a 4 or 5 player where there's that many people playing, I don't think anything stands out as clearly ahead. And so I think it's going to be fine there. And so I have to give it a thumbs up for the keys to victory. This game is so unique to me. I 100% understand that I've never played another bag builder. And as a result, the instant I get my hands on Quacks of Quedlinburg, this game will take a slight unique hit. But the idea that you are doing a rondel that feeds into a bag builder while also being an area control game, I just can't think of any game that's like that. Quacks of Quedlinburg is a bag builder, and I don't believe there's anything to do with rondel or with area control in that game. Now, maybe there is with some kind of an attachment, an add-on, but I just haven't seen anything in my videos I've watched on that. I just find this game to be such a unique play. And while I'm sure it's not perfect for everybody, for me, it's a game that is going to be a front runner for my game of the year. Right now, I have a few games that I've already reviewed that I know when we get to the end of this 365-day run, that they're in my head right now as, man, that's got to be a top 10, right? Now, I don't know where it's going to land. We'll see. But this is definitely one that's in my head. I'm like, if that doesn't make top 10, what made top 10? Because this one just has to be a top 10. Maybe it's games I haven't played yet. Maybe it's older games I don't realize when I'm doing my voting that I'm going to say, oh, wow, that's higher than I remembered it was going to be. But right now, this is right there with like Dune Imperium and with Foundations of Rome and with Northgard, like games that I had a blast playing first time this year. So we'll have to see. It's a thumbs up. Overall, what do I think of this game? I really like this game. I highly recommend you play it. I think everybody needs to at least try the game. I highly recommend that if somebody in a group wants it, somebody should pick it up. Every group should have an owner of this game. You don't have to have everybody own it, but every group of people that get together playing needs to have somebody owning this game. Because this is a game that I think not only can be played in your groups, I think whoever owns it will also have a chance to play it with their family or friends outside, because the theme is just something everybody has a little bit of a feel for. I mean, it's Alice in Wonderland, but in such a cool way. I really like it. I think you got to go out there and you got to make an effort to try. But that's just my opinion. It's up to you guys to get out there, see if you can get your hands on this game, and see where you come up with your opinions on it. Well, it has been day 108, and we've been speaking about the game Wonderland's War. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description. If this game is on Amazon, I'm going to add in the link so that you can go pick it up for yourself. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.